Hey guys, Josh here. If you're into farming games like me, you might have previously heard of a game called Farm Folks. It was in development by a small studio called Overgrown. They did a Kickstarter campaign, which was pretty successful, and the game looked quite promising. However, long story short, the game got completely abandoned by the original team. However, the project was recently acquired by Crytivo, a developer and publisher with quite a good track record. They will also be publishing indie farming games Roots of Pacha as well as Wanderlust, so they know what they're doing. Anyway, so they've acquired the project a little while ago with whatever code and assets that were done by the original team, and on October 15th, they have released their first devlog, diving into how the development of the game is going, what are the challenges ahead, what their plans are, and the progress that they've made so far. So in today's video, I just wanted to take a look at the devlog with you guys, the information we learned from it, and just start a discussion about this game, which I feel still has a lot of potential. The first thing that they're letting us know is that actually the foundations of the game left by the original team were not very solid, so they had to pretty much scrap everything and start from scratch. That might sound like a bad thing at first, but actually it's pretty good to hear because even though we might lose a bit of the original essence or ideas of the game, if it wasn't good enough to create a quality game out of it, well, I'm happy that they took the decision to start over. Their goal is still to deliver what the original game intended to do, which is a lot of flexibility in farm building, management, relationships, tool diversity, character and props customization. So it's definitely going to be a farming game with a lot of emphasis on customization, which I love. They also had to rethink the character design, and their 3D artist came up with the very first customizable base model for their playable character. You can see right away that they're taking quite a different artistic direction. Characters appear more mature and realistic than the cute little characters we had before. And while I like both styles and I really enjoyed the cute style they had before, I'm glad that they're not afraid to deviate a little bit from what was established and add their own personality to the game. We then get a closer look at the customization. So not only for the eyes, you'll be able to change the color of both the inner and outer iris. Also for the hair, it looks so good. So you'll be able to not only change the base color, but also the color of the roots, the strands, and the tips. So we're really going to be able to do tons of different combinations. Some hairstyles you'll get from the start of the game, and others you'll have to go to a hair salon to get them. And apparently NPCs will also make comments when you get a new haircut, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. But it seems like any kind of crazy hair color you're thinking of, you're going to be able to do it in this game. Outfits will also be customizable. You'll be able to mix and match any pieces of clothing that you'd like, as well as selecting colors and patterns for each of these pieces of clothing. They also said that they were looking into body mass customization since this was a very requested feature, but they will have to do a little bit more testing to see whether or not that can be implemented. I think that's a challenge that a lot of developers are facing when they go with character creation, because of course you want to be able to offer the players lots of possibilities in terms of like body types and heights and things like that. A lot of technical things go into this and make sure everything works together and make sure everything looks good no matter the size. So that's kind of tricky, but hopefully they can include that in the final version of the game and they don't run into many problems. So hopefully everything goes well for that. And also you can see that the same attention to details for customization will also be applied to furniture. So you'll get to change the colors and patterns for each little part of the different pieces of furniture, as well as their size. They gave some examples with sofas, where you can see the same sofas with so many different variations. This reminds me quite a lot of The Sims, especially in The Sims 3, where you could customize pretty much everything in a similar way. You could pick up some different patterns and colors for different parts of the furniture items. So yeah, this just reminds me of The Sims 3 a lot, and I'm looking forward to it. They also showed some lanterns, and basically you'll be able to choose the height of the pole, the type of wood, the design of the lantern, the color of the light. So as you can see, customization is going to be a pretty big part of this game, but of course with all farming games, we're also going to have some tools, and we got a first glimpse at some of the tools that will be available. So a pickaxe, an axe, and a construction hammer. They mentioned that they will also add automatization tools as well, but we'll have to stay tuned for future devlogs to know more about them. Recently, a lot of farming games have been adding sprinklers, and I think we can probably assume that will be included in this game, But I'm excited to see what kind of tools they will come up to automate things, maybe such as mining or cutting wood. So if you guys have any guess as to what kind of automatization tools they will add into the game, please feel free to let me know in the comments. So I mentioned the construction hammer a little bit earlier, and there's a good reason for that. So in Farm Folks, you'll get to build your own personalized dream home, barn, or actually any kind of building you'd like to see on your farm. While most farming games tend to give you preset buildings to place around your land, and who knows, maybe there's going to be preset buildings as well for those who don't really want to build, but Farm Folks will allow you to build buildings from scratch with complete freedom, so you can place things wherever you'd like. You can build a big barn or a small barn, you can build a big house, you can put things wherever you'd like, so we're gonna have tons of freedom in regards to construction. And based on the early screenshots that they've showed, I'm assuming the construction will feel somewhat similar to games like Craft, Grounded, or other survival games that have building mechanics. So basically you just have different kind of wall pieces and floor pieces, and you attach them together and you can build pretty much whatever you'd like. So I think from what I can see, that's how it's going to be like, and I'm so excited for it. They also talked about a few other interesting things, such as how they're adding a complex lighting system that will change depending on the weather conditions, time of day, and seasons. So the lighting in autumn is going to be giving a different mood, a different vibe than the lighting in winter, and I think it's really going to achieve something that's as immersive as possible and realistic. Also, details like footprints will also appear differently depending on the terrain your character is walking on. So for example, footprints on the sand will be more prominent than those on the grass and things like that. So it's just a very small detail, but it shows that they're paying attention to detail, which can make a huge difference in the final product. The world will be spread over multiple large islands, so there's going to be some exploration in the game and different things to see. However, they mentioned that they didn't want to make the world too big and have it become sparse and boring. So I think they really tried their best to find a good size for the world so that it's big enough so there's stuff to explore and things to do, but also it's not too big so you get lost and it can get boring. So I think they found a good balance for the size of the world. We also got a look at the UI for the main menu, and they're going for a very modern and minimalistic look, which I appreciate. I feel it's more immersive when your screen is not cluttered with too much information. Of course, here you can see it says foundation, so they might have some typos to work on, but overall I think it does look pretty good, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the UI will be like in the actual gameplay, because this is just a menu screen. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how it is in gameplay. You might have also noticed that in the background of this video has been playing actually the first track of the game, which they previewed in the devlog, and I think it's both calm and uplifting at the same time. Let me know what you think, but I think for a first track it's pretty good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing everything else, and I'm hoping we get some seasonal themes. That's one thing I really like in the farming games, is hearing the themes and the music that changes with the seasons. So hopefully they do that, and yeah, looking forward to that as well. And to finish things up, the game will allow up to 4-player co-op, and the plan is to start a pre-alpha around February 2022. And even though there was no money left from the Kickstarter campaign, unfortunately, when the project was passed to Crytivo from the original team, they're still fully committed to fulfilling all the backer rewards, which is simply amazing, and I'm sure it will relieve a lot of people that were disappointed when this game got mostly kind of abandoned. So yeah, it's very good to hear that they will still fulfill the rewards even though they don't have the money anymore. So that's good to hear, and they're also thinking about setting up a Patreon to gather more funding for the game, but there's no details on this yet, so we're gonna have to stay tuned for that. And yeah, so overall, I'm super excited for Farm Folks. It's always sad to see a game you're interested in being abandoned, especially when it's a project on Kickstarter that a lot of people had put their own money and hopes in, and they really want to get a chance to play this game someday. Yeah, it's always sad when it gets abandoned, and I'm so happy Crytivo is taking over this project. I have faith in their team, and seeing what they're doing right now, it gets me so excited for this game. I think the whole customization aspect of this game is very promising, and I can't wait for the next devlogs, and of course I'm gonna keep you guys up to date. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for today's video, guys. Let me know if you're excited for Farm Folks. Let me know if maybe you backed this game on Kickstarter or not, and let me know what part of the game you're the most excited for. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Please click like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this, and I'm gonna see you all in the next video.